In 1857, a wagon train of hopeful pioneers rolled west through the Utah Territory. They were families from Arkansas, men, women, and children, part of the Baker Fancher Party, bound for California in search of a better life. They never made it. Instead, over 120 of them would be murdered in cold blood by men they thought were there to help them. This is the story of the Mountain Meadows Massacre, a tragedy born of fear, secrecy, and betrayal. That summer, Utah was on edge. Tensions between the U.S. government and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints were boiling over. The federal government believed the Mormon-controlled Utah Territory was in rebellion. President Buchanan had dispatched an army to confront them. Mormon leader Brigham Young declared martial law. No one was to sell to outsiders. No one was to trust Gentiles, especially those passing through. So when the Baker Fancher wagon train arrived in southern Utah, they were met not with hospitality, but with suspicion. Rumors spread that they were spies, that they had insulted Mormon settlers, that they had poisoned water holes or boasted about killing Mormon leaders back in Missouri. None of it was proven. But fear and fanaticism took hold. The pioneers made camp in a quiet valley called Mountain Meadows. That's where the ambush began. At first, they were attacked by men disguised as Native Americans, alongside real Paiute allies. The siege lasted 5 days. Then came the deception. Local Mormon militiamen approached under a white flag. They promised the emigrants safe passage if they laid down their weapons. Desperate and starving, the pioneers agreed. The group was divided and led out in small clusters. Once they were far enough from each other, the signal was given. The escorts turned on them. Men were gunned down. Women and older children were slaughtered. Only 17 small children, deemed too young to bear witness, were spared. Over 120 innocents were murdered. The truth was buried almost as quickly as the bodies. For years, church leaders and local officials blamed Native Americans. But whispers of Mormon involvement never stopped. Eventually, John D. Lee, a militia leader, was arrested, tried, and in 1877, executed. He was the only person ever punished. The church would not formally acknowledge its members' role in the massacre until 2007, 150 years later. The Mountain Meadows Massacre remains one of the darkest chapters in American frontier history. A story of fear and fanaticism, of power and silence, and of a betrayal that still echoes through the hills of southern Utah.